Hi everyone, this is an instructional video for your final project, 10.01. So what's really important is that you need to have made sure to watch this video before attempting anything. So you're going to be here in the assignment directions, but you need to make sure to watch this video first. So in our other assignments, a few other assignments that we have completed, there have been a few different areas where you were looking at on the trail, back to the flat or back to the drawing board. That's a wrap. So all of those assignments basically lead back to the 7.02. So it's the same for Unit 10 and what we're doing there in Unit 10 as well. So if we look at Unit 10, 10.01 is the actual assignment where the Dropbox is, but then all of these other 10.02, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way down to 9, those are basically steps of you writing 10.01. So legitimately, there's only one assignment. The rest of these are just the steps to completing 10.01. So I just want to make sure to clarify that. All right. So you have a couple of lesson pages here that you want to make sure to read, but then the assignment is here, which I already have pulled up, so I'm going to pop that over for you. And I'm going to make it a little larger so you're able to see it, and a little bit larger than that. So basically, this assignment is kind of a culmination of everything you've learned in journalism. So it's not really that difficult of an assignment if you've done all these steps along the way. So it should be a pretty easy write for you. But what you're going to be doing is you are going to be looking at a social concern in your community, such as homelessness, teen drinking and driving, joblessness, um, could be having to do with animal shelters, things like that. You're going to identify a nonprofit organization that is making a difference regarding this problem. I am going to change the directions for you guys in this, and I'm verbally going to give you the directions. This article can have nothing to do with the coronavirus, COVID-19, okay? So I need you to look at something else in your community. And I know there's a lot of things going on in your community right now with COVID-19, but I'm taking that option away from you, okay? So it has to do with something not related to COVID-19. So you can write about a lot of things. You can write about your church. You can write about um, any issue in your community that you feel is prevalent or that has been prevalent at any time. You could write about the Salvation Army. You could write about Goodwill. There are a lot of different things that you can write about. So you're going to write a feature about that organization and you're going to describe who runs that organization and who the organization serves and what the organization accomplishes and how the organization does its job. You are going to quote both people who are involved in the organization and the people who benefit from the services. Provide 2 or 3 accompanying photographs and, if appropriate, charts and sidebars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little bit of a break when it comes to your interviews. So, for example, one of the um, one of the programs in my area is a dog rescue. It's called Paw Patrol. Okay, it's actually where we obtained Pagani, our youngest dog, from, the one that's like 100 pounds. She's a giant, right? So my friend Sarah is a foster for them, and her husband is also a foster for them. So while I personally do not know who's in charge of Paw Patrol, I probably could email and ask for an interview. However, it might be a lot easier for me to get an interview from Sarah, my friend, who's a foster, who knows a lot more about Paw Patrol than I do, but maybe not as much as the person who's completely in charge. So I could also interview her husband, Jared, right? So that's an option that I would possibly have. Um, if you are looking at talking about a church or about the Salvation Army or Goodwill, Humane Society, whatever it is you're looking at, you want to make sure that whoever you're interviewing are the people that are somehow connected to that. They do not have to be the person in control if or in charge. If you can interview that person, that is absolutely fantastic. That is your best case scenario. However, I know that's not always going to be possible. So, with that, what I want you to remember is that you have to be the one doing these interviews. So, you can't pull up an article online and look at an interview that was done with the president of the Humane Society and then just paraphrase that into your own words. That is not what this assignment is about, and it's not appropriate. So, for this assignment, you need to find two people to interview. You need to develop a set of interview questions for each of those people, or it can be a set for both, the same thing for both if you would like. Then you are going to take a few of their questions and answers, and you're going to strategically place them um, throughout your articles that you're writing. So it's super important that you know that your interviews have to be done by you. Those interviews have to be in the article. You are not rewriting an article that it's already written. This article has to be written from scratch by you. I will be grading this since it is extra credit. I will be grading this very stringent because I'm not just going to give away those 50 points, right? So every little thing has to be met at that in that rubric, and it has to be completely done 100% correct the first time, right? I'm not accepting resubmissions on this either. That's the other thing. It is like a final exam almost, where you have one chance at it and that's it. Okay, so make sure that you are doing your best the first time and then submitting it. So the other thing I want to make sure that you're aware of is that you also have to have that non-human credible resource. So that means add some type of statistic, add information, some research information, add a bar graph, a chart. Make sure to have the pictures in there, as I mentioned before. So it's very similar to a lot of the things that you've done in the past. It's just that I'm not allowing resubmissions for this. So that's very, very important. Okay. So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. Let me know. I will hold a help session for this and kind of go over it during a class connect. But overall, it should not be too hard for those of you who are permitted to attempt this. So if you need anything, let me know. Thank you.